What's up, YouTube, Soul Tribe, the Ether, and the Cosmos? And no, they are definitely not the same. This is your girl, Mighty Mocha, tuning in for a quick live version of Fearless Friday. I sat on the fence today, I'm not gonna lie. It's been such a beautiful week, though. I said I couldn't pass up the opportunity after some reflecting to come on and give some words of encouragement and shed some love and some light and some peace to everyone who was willing to receive it, right? So, this is Fearless Friday, and I just kept hearing, you can have peace. I gotta find these songs and put them in the description box, but it's a gospel song about how you can have peace, like just being your fearless self and resting assured that you're cared for. But you can have peace, and this week kind of showed that to me. I had a lot of obstacles, a lot of tasks that I was charged with, and realized that within them, the more fearless I became about what I had the courage and the opportunity to do, and how I had the courage and the opportunity to show up, um, kind of put me in a more peaceful place within myself, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but it makes sense to me. I was asked to do a couple of things this week that and even voluntold to do a couple of things this week that kind of made me not uncomfortable in a sense, but made me kind of feel a little bit uneasy. So I had to stretch myself a little bit, and they kind of worked out really well, and not really well. They worked out very well and offered me the opportunity to kind of rest in a place of peace where I could say, this was made for you, right? This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is why you were called to do these particular tasks, take on these particular tasks, experience these things in this way at this time. And so, um, I don't know. I've just been trying to do a lot more lately to be at peace and be comfortable in my skin, if that makes sense. Like just be comfortable with, this is how you are perceived by the world, and this is why you are pulled upon in this way, and you should be comfortable with this at all times, because this is really a statement to who you are, versus, oh my gosh, no, they didn't ask me to do this thing and put me in this position and, make me feel like I have to show up in this way. And I don't know, I just felt fearless being in my natural state. I felt like, even though some of the things that I was asked and voluntold to do this week, I felt like it was a push. I also felt like, that's better. I also felt like, oh, hi, Portia. I love you. I cannot believe you're on here. Hi, Portia Banks. Thank you so much for joining me. People say they can't, some people say that they can't comment, but then some people say that they can. But I'm just glad to see your face in the place, and thank you for the love. I appreciate it, and you always. But I was just saying that I've been put in positions recently, and not even just recently, where I've had to step into position and show up in a way that I probably would have a couple of years ago questioned, challenged, fought, and not want to be present. But in accepting these voluntold situations and being elected to do certain things, I really felt comfortable in my skin. And so I think part of what I want to convey on Fearless Friday is that if the universe continues to push you in a direction or create opportunities. What did I say? It's a difference between an opportunity and being put in a position. So I feel like this week I was exposed to opportunities versus put in positions where I had to show up as my authentic self and be comfortable in my skin and to be just very transparent about how I felt about everything that I was experiencing while moving through that process or those processes, but feeling fearless enough to say, if I was called to it, then it is for me. If I was called to it, then I'm supposed to do it. And some people kind of run and flee and make excuses and choose not to show up in their most fearless self, in their most natural state. But I found that, oh, I love you too. I love you too, Portia. You're just as amazing. Come on now, don't do that. I love you too. I appreciate it. I do. Oh, you're making me smile. But oh, smooches. But I do think that it's important for us to realize there's no task that's being presented to us and no set of circumstances that's being presented to us that is not rightfully and righteously ours, right? And I do think that what happens is in community, whether it's work community, family community, friendship community, doesn't matter, love community, I think that we are taught to doubt ourselves and to see newness and change and challenge as something that we should back down from and downplay and not be resolute with and not face. But I beg to differ. I think that the biggest the most fearless ways that we can show up in the world is for us to recognize that we, and I say this all the time, we already have certain innate gifts and skills and talents, and what we are taught to do through community sometimes is to bury those things and to push them aside and to minimize them and downplay them and not give ourselves the credit for being the fearless human beings that we are. And that has a lot to do with self love versus self sabotage. And it has a lot to do with um, uh, pride and ego. I have these three acronyms that I keep on my desk, and I'm walking to get them. Hold on. Here we go. I'm sorry, I had to step away. I wanted to get them. And I reflect on them every day because there are three things that will result in us being POE, POE, just POE, right? And that's pride, obligation, and ego. I think that the more that we invest in pride, obligation, and ego, the more we take ourselves away from the freedom to be fearless in who we are. I think that pride diminishes the ultimate goal, which is to work on the behalf of someone else and not yourself, to see and uplift others in a higher way than what it has the ability to do for self. I think pride diminishes relationships and strips away at the core of who we are. Pride it diminishes intimacy, pride diminishes cohesiveness, it just strips away at the fabric of who we are. And then obligation. I'm a tribe person. Like I believe in upholding, uplifting, and taking care of my tribe. But I do believe that obligation can only go so far. I believe that obligation is a tool sometimes that is used to hold people stagnant in their energy and to disallow them the opportunity to grow and to move freely and fearlessly throughout the universe. And and even though pride is similar to ego, I believe that ego is about this whole self dynamic about I am my needs are greater than the whole. My needs are more important than anybody else's. My needs trumps all else. And I think that there is a big difference in being loving on and towards yourself. 10 10. I think there's a big difference then in being loving towards and on and for yourself, and then having a big fat ass ego that takes over and dominates the ability to have genuine authentic relationships with people. And so I just want to encourage people. You guys know that that's what I do. I come out, I'm all about encouragement. But I just want to encourage everyone, if you do nothing else, to be fearless, to learn how to be comfortable in your skin, to learn how to be comfortable with the gifts that the universe is giving you, to understand and check into ways in which you can use those gifts to better not just yourself, being caught up in your ego and confirmation. Listen to the sirens. I'm sorry, but that's confirmation for me. But to not just be caught up in your own ego and caught up in the things that serve you, but to look at what is best, 1111, what is best for the greater good, and to not be obligated for pretentious reasons. Obligation, I think, is a tribe type situation. Like, I think in terms of obligation, we do owe each other the obligatory consensus around respect for humankind and mankind, and being obligated to do what is right and best for all involved, and being obligated to support the people who deserve your support and who are willing to receive and accept your support in a healthy way. And I think that pride is something that has a purpose, but knowing when and where that purpose should be inserted is something that we do through maturing, right? It's not something we come here knowing, because we come here as very ego driven people. And that's just the fact of human development. We start off with I, me, my mentality, and we're supposed to blossom into something that is a little bit more community driven and extensive and expansive throughout the communities that we share in this life with. So I just encourage you guys to be fearless and be Oh, wow. I'm glad, Portia. I'm glad I'm talking to you. And guess what? I'm talking to me too, right? Like, one thing that I've come to realize is that um, when I have these sessions, like, I'm not an island unto myself, and it's not like I come with messages that only resonate with the collective. Like, I'm part of the collective. So when I talk, I'm definitely talking to myself. And the messages that I give are also messages that I'm meant to receive. So I'm glad that you popped up in my chat, and I'm glad that our spirits are connecting and resonating, because I think this is a movement that's kind of happening, or a shift, should I say, that's kind of happening amongst people. Is that we're realizing that we do need to walk in our true spirit of self, and not be apologetic for how we show up and what we have to offer to the universe, and not dumb that down because other people may not have arrived at that point yet. Um, I think that we all have the opportunity and the choice to grow, and it's just about us being fearless enough on this fearless Friday and every day to take advantage of those opportunities. So I'm glad that it's resonating with someone. And like I say, I don't do my YouTube videos, to like meet the masses and rack up a whole bunch of likes or followers or what have you. I do it because spirit says this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm glad that if there's one person that can listen to these videos, look at these videos or what have you, and say, I'm kind of feeling that, then I'm doing what spirit has guided me to do. And I feel kind of good about that. So y'all know how I do it. I'm about to cross on over to the other side. I usually give my little dialogue, and then I let these beautiful tarot cards kind of drive my message home. So I shuffle right before each one of my dialogues and let the chips fall where they may. And tonight, I was blessed enough to pull the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Star card in that order. And so I love the Nine of Pentacles, nine being one of my most favorite numbers. But I love the Nine of Pentacles because there she is in her little garden. She's toiling away, putting in the effort. And I pulled this card. That's why I said some energies kind of reverberate and are redundant. But I pulled this card a couple of times before. But as you can see, she has fruit that she's bearing from the work that she's put in. Pentacles always represent abundance, money, prosperity, kind of like pentacles represent I have put the energy and the work in and I'm being rewarded for it. That's what pentacles are. And she's abundant. She got not just fruit, she got some carrots, she got some tomatoes, there's plenty of greenery. And look at the bird perched atop her. That's the messenger. The messenger is saying, whatever it is that you're doing such an awesome ass job of it that you are either being rewarded or going to be rewarded. And even with that being said, with her doing the work, she's still looking to the future. She's still looking towards what is next, what is to come, what other causes can I champion, what other ways can I use my energy, my work, my tool, my labor to manifest, right? And I tell folks all the time, manifestation is not just about you doing things. Manifestation is about what your mind is thinking, what ideas and concepts, where your head is, what you are feeding yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. That's how we manifest. And if you are thinking positive things and feeling positive and fearless about yourself, then you are definitely going to or should be manifesting positive things. And then I pulled the mighty, this my girl, this Queen of Pentacles, right? Right? Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles for me is all about being stately, stable, and simplistic. You see, she holding that pentacle in her lap, you know, Black beauty and empress that she is, but there's happiness there. And she is satisfied with the people, the places, the things, the energies that are in her presence. She is nurturing, she's kind, she's generous, and she can afford to be so because what did we just say? She put the work in, right? She put the work in. She's created the energy. She has sown her seed, planted her seed, and now she can sit back on her throne with her beautiful ass energy and rest and relax. Thank you, Portia. And rest and relax and give thanks to the Most High for delivering her in a space where she now feels comfortable in her skin. So I love the Queen of Pentacles, and I see that little white rabbit there. And I hate to say this because, you know, it's such a shitty deal, right? But white in tarot energy is just always a symbolic measure of clarity, right? So that's why she is sitting there so pristine and confident and encouraged. She has clarity. These are kind of like I'm just looking at the energies and I'm seeing earth energies. I'm seeing, and you see that there's red in all of the cards. And red is definitely symbolic of action, right? So something is being done that is yielding this queen the fruits of her labor. She's benefiting from the fruits of her labor. And then the third card that I pulled was one of my all-time favorites, Equitable to the Sun card. This is the Star card. And what did I say? What did I say? Being comfortable in your skin. She bare ass naked, but she is pouring energy into the earth and she's pouring energy into the water. And her energy is fluid, but it's also grounded. Oh, okay, there we go. And it's also grounded. I'm sorry, this camera reverse thing gets me every time, but it's also grounded. And once again, what do we have? Another bird here, another messenger. But the star card is always reflective of hope, healing, peacefulness, contentment, creativity, inspiration. The star card says, once again, the red, take action, dream fucking big. Like, don't allow yourself to be limited by whatever or whomever someone is telling you your limitations should be. You have every divinity working on your behalf. You have all of your natural, innate skills and qualities. You are able to balance them effortlessly. She ain't struggling. She's doing this effortlessly, right? And having an impact so much to the point where the stars, and this is like a 8 card. This represents infinity. You have an infinite amount of capabilities, opportunities, skill sets at your disposal. All the universe is asking you to do is to fucking show up fearlessly and use them. That's it. That's all. It's just that simple. This is not hard. We make it hard because we allow other energies to get in our heads, get in our mind space, take over, and take us out. And yeah, why would we do that when we don't have to? Why would we lessen ourselves and who it is that we were meant to be because someone else said that we could not measure up, do not measure up? Yeah, I don't believe in that. So y'all know how I do it. Somebody else could read these cards, look at them and read them totally different. But we ain't talking about them. We talking about me, and that's my read on them. And as always, I thank all of you all. I'm really elated to see Miss Portia B in my chats. Like, this just made my day. This made my week, along with some of the other most auspicious things that happened to me this week. You showing up in my chats is just like the cherry on the cake, right? So I appreciate you. And as always, I appreciate the people who don't show up, who don't like, who don't share, who don't subscribe, because like I've said before, I can take any and all energies and manifest it into something positive. And I encourage you all to do the same thing. And on that note, I'm going to close out, drop my wand, because that's what I should be doing. I've said enough. I said I was going to come on tonight and do a quick read. You welcome, baby. I love you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on here. I'll be back on Sunday. I do Sunday Sound Off. I do Mission Driven Monday. I do Timely Tuesday, Wishful Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, and Fearless Friday. So I'm on here at least 6 days out of 7, and try to rest in between. But I really appreciated having you here. And with that being said, you guys know how I do it. As always, I wish and send you all peace, love, light, and happiness. Okay? One.